Go.
Okay, here with Phoebus head football coach Jeremy Blunt. His team will win 40-14 over the Heritage Hurricanes in the season opener at John B. Todd Stadium in Newport News. Jeremy, I just talked with Barry Hargraves for your junior wideout. He said, yeah, Anson ready for the season start because you guys were the last team to open up the year. You had to be really pleased with how your offense came out. First 3 drives, you get 3 touchdowns.
Absolutely. You know, we talked about starting off this game. We understand that going into the first game, you're going to see a lot of mistakes. So execution was our key today. We told the guys starting off this season that it had to start off up front, and we were looking for our own line to establish themselves. You know, those guys came out, they moved their feet, they drove guys off the ball, and we have a backfield that can flat out just play. So those guys, when they got the ball in their hands, I mean, the rest was just on them.
Sort of the old Phoebus with the twin combo you got in the backfield with Daniel Wright, Dequan Fleming. You get Buckler 3 from Wright, 94 on the ground from Fleming, and that's a 1-2 punch where defenses can't key in on the power or the speed of those 2 guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're a great change-up, and those guys, they accommodate each other well. And then you factor in Jalen White and Kareem Wilson. You know, we have 4 guys that they just buy into what we're doing. And here again, it all starts up front. When our O-line is doing what they're supposed to do, you know, we have guys that can make plays. And the quarterback showed that as well. When it was his number called, you know, that kid was out there moving his feet and delivering that ball, and the receivers were special.
You guys got a great anchor at center and Tim Young, I think it is. Defensive line, a guy, I think it was, or defensive front, I wasn't really too aware of for the game tonight. Austin Gilliam made some plays for you, really knifed it and was a presence for you.
He was. You know, the guys played up front well tonight. Juan Purdy, you know, Gilliam, Fullwood, Waheed, you know, Cameron Wilson, you know, a number of guys. Those guys, their defensive line coach kept those guys on a great rotation all night because we understood that we had to keep those guys fresh because some of them play both ways, and you know, we want to give all of our young guys an opportunity. I like the way they responded.
Even more, I got the sense that you guys, and this is what Phoebus has always been known for defensively, if you can make a team one-dimensional, you guys can pin your back and now it's a different type of ball game. Knowing that Phoebus, that Heritage could field the football, did you guys feel like that was the thing, just make them have to rely on just one aspect and then you got them where you wanted it?
You know, their backfield is pretty special, and the kids showed that during the scrimmages and during their first game. But we know that, you know, things are going to happen from their quarterback and their receiver. Those 2 guys are pretty darn good. So we understood that if we could keep that quarterback rattled, moving around in the pocket, going sideline to sideline, and then keeping him pinned while we were doing it, you know, that kid, if he's staying east and west, and we can make plays on a guy that's special back there and is pushing towards our secondary. So we were able to do that.
Last 2 for you. Chris Daniels, your quarterback, making his starting debut at the varsity level. 2 of 3, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. And then you get Barry Hargraves stepping up at wide receiver. How would you grade the passing game and then Daniels tonight for a start?
I think he did a great job. Of course, there are some things that we have on film that we're going to continue to push and get better at. But I think he did a great job. Receiving core, we have some guys that can play, man. And, you know, we tell the quarterback, your job is just get those guys the ball and let them be special from there. And he did that. And when he did, you know, Barry Hargraves did what he did tonight.
Lastly, you got Denby, I think, coming up on Saturday. It's a short week. And you know, with kids, it's tough. Even when you take it on a team like Denby that struggled in 2 games, it can always be that short week. You take them a little lightly. What do you do in not a lot of preparation time as you get ready for game 2 and going forward here?
You know, we get back and we go through a process. We have our process, and we're thankful that we have a good, firm process in place. Of course, nobody accounts for a Tuesday game and a short turnaround, but, you know, we'll still go through what we need to go through. We're going to do our due diligence because Denby's hungry right now, and we understand that those guys, you know, just traditionally, those guys can play. So we got to make sure we go out there and we got to be ready for those guys coming Saturday.
Well, a strong start for Phoebus football, and Jeremy Blunt, thanks for your time. Congrats.
Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you, man. Have a good night.